Welcome to Car and Driver. I'm Larry Webster, and we're here to show you a track car slugfest between the Corvette Z06, the Lotus Exige S, and the Porsche 911 GT3. Now these cars are so fast that we had to take them to a racetrack to really ring them out. We went to Buttonwillow Raceway Park. We used something called configuration number 13, and it's 2.7 miles. We're going to highlight three sections. Sector 1 is called Cotton Corners. With its combination of curves and hills, Sector 1 really challenged the car's suspension. Sector 2 is a combination of high-speed sweepers that really test how comfortable we feel in these cars. The more comfortable we are, the faster you go. Now Lost Hill is a right-hander that apexes at the crest of a hill. This unweights the car and usually sends the back end swinging. The first car is America's performance bargain of the decade. The Corvette Z06 is packing 505 horsepower for 70 grand. This one's going to be tough to beat. And next we have the Lotus Exige S, which thanks to a supercharger finally has the horsepower that this excellent chassis deserves. And finally, we have the Porsche 911 GT3. With an as-tested price of 120 grand, it was the most expensive by far. But among the 911 range, the GT3 is the one car you want when you're at the track. The Corvette swaggered into this test with supercar performance. This thing will sprint to 60 in 3.6 seconds and clear the quarter at 11.8 seconds at 122 miles per hour. There are only a few cars in the world that can outrun the Z06, and none of them come anywhere near to the Corvette's $77,000 as-tested price. Now around Buttonwillow, the Corvette was the fastest with a time of 2 minutes and 1 second. And what surprised us all was how friendly the Vet was around the track. Those new shocks have made a huge difference. The Lotus's big strength is the feedback. This car tells you exactly what's going on, it makes you feel completely comfortable, and it never does anything you didn't expect. You find yourself taking quarters 5 to 10 miles per hour quicker than in most other cars. The one problem is short on refinement. The supercharged engine that's right behind the seats is awfully buzzy, and inside this thing, it is a noise chamber. Even though 220 horsepower still feels like plenty in the 2,000-pound Exige, it just doesn't have enough to compete with the other two. The 911 GT3 has a magnificent flat 6 engine. This thing revs to 8,400 RPM, it makes 415 horsepower, and it makes the best sound this side of a Ferrari. It's wearing Michelin Pilot Sport Cup tires, which are super grippy tires. Now, the 911 GT3 was only a half second behind the Corvette, but the problem that we found was it was a little bit too loose, it slid a little bit more than we wanted, and it didn't really display the grip we expected from its 1.05G figure it made on the skid pad. Where the Porsche excelled is in the handling department. The brakes are spectacular. It hauled it down from 70 miles per hour in only 145 feet, and it pulled the best number on the skid pad, 1.05 Gs. Now the Exige S is the quickest Exige we've ever tested. It sprinted to 60 in only 4.1 seconds, and it did the quarter in 12.8 at 107 miles per hour. The Exige was the ace of the lane change test. It went through our course in 75.8 miles an hour, with a big lead over the other two. Now, I've already mentioned how quick the Corvette is. Now you gotta drive this thing to feel that explosive power the engine generates. It's a light car, it's only 3,180 pounds, and therefore it stopped from 70 miles per hour and 153 feet. That's 1 foot less than the little Lotus. At the end of the day, we practically had an office room brawl trying to figure out the winner of this one. It was fairly obvious that the winner was between the Corvette and the 911. Those in the Porsche camp said there's no better thrill than accelerating the 911 to its 8,400 RPM redline. The Corvette guy said, hey, this is a track car comparo, and the Vet is faster. Plus, it's 40 grand cheaper. We debated some more, and then we finally emerged with the winner, the Corvette, by a scant 1 point. One thing's for sure, we're going to need a rematch, and we've got plenty of volunteers. Now, I'm Larry Webster, and thanks for watching our track car comparison test.